Spalding, Virginia is a celebration of the written word where authors, poets, writers, scribblers, we just get together every month and share our work. So we started about in January of 2015, and in the little coffee shop up the road called Ground Central Station. And if you know about Ground Central Station, wonderful place, but it's awful tiny. And so usually if we had a dozen, we took up the place. And it was, so we've been averaging about 25 people a month. When this Girani's became available, we started to go over here. We love to celebrate the first timers, where like a lot of times people will be walking by and say, hey, what's going on? And so they sit, and I'm like, well, if you get inspired, if you have something written on your phone, or we're always here the fourth Friday of the month. So if you want to stop back again, kids as young as 7 get up there and read poetry. Like they do the color of the rainbows, so they'll do red and blue and purple. And we've had some great success stories. One of our poets, he was just walking along and saw us, and he's from Manassas, and Brian Donald James, and he started to come and recite his poetry and joined a couple contests, and he made it. He won a couple contests, and he's been all over. He's been performing for some of the universities like Michigan State and Montana and Pennsylvania, Penn State, I think, and he's just it's been good. So it's just a good outlet. Our motto is, if you wrote it, we want to hear it. So it doesn't matter what you want. You know, you want to do a kid's story, a political thriller, poetry, a political rant, whatever you want to do.
It's not all poetry.
No.
But the poems are the
it's weird how we've heard so many, and we can remember some of our favorites. Like Natalie Patel, who was one of our poet laureates. She wrote a poem because she was a fireman, and her poem was A Man Going to Work, and it's about how everyone else was, running away from the fire, and it's just a man who's a fireman who's just going to work and it just, doing his job and not feeling like, it's a chore or anything. And it just was just a powerful.
Our 4th poet laureate is a firewoman. Yes, it doesn't matter where they spend much of their day.
Nope.
That wonderful man, I don't know if he's still with us, but he came in and he had work clothes on, and he had I thought it was paint at first, but it was like remnants of cement. He was a bricklayer, and he came and read beautiful poetry about his wife, who was not in good condition. Love poems, and then sat back down with his rough clothes and but he got loud applause. He advertised for a barista for Friday nights, and they were usually kids or maybe in their 20s or so, but he came, and we thought, okay, Ken called John and said, okay, we're going to open up, and we have a new barista. And so he was making the hot cocoa and so forth. And all of a sudden it was over, and John said, okay, that's it, folks.
And
he came out from behind the counter, and he says, I have a couple of poems, just real calmly and quietly. And he got up there, and he wowed us so much. We didn't go home for another half hour or so. He wanted to be here to do his poetry.
Right. Other things have come from it. I mean, we're a staple at Arts Alive. And we'll always, because we always.
Do you know about Arts Alive?
You guys know about Arts
Good.
Alive, so we're always at Arts Alive. And what was the other one that we do?
We do in the Company of Laureates.
And we're always at the Spalding, because in the company, what Spalding is all about. It's just a community. It's a big community.
You cannot believe where poetry comes in from. And it's put Manassas on the map, because every time the Northern Virginia Poetry Society newsletter goes out, it always says that we're having poetry at Girani's in Manassas. And I've been here a long time. We moved here in 1975 anyway, and I said there's no culture here. All they have is a county fair, and I'm no good about judging cows. And but I stayed
And now look at
and
it.
brought the arts here.
Yep, look at
And
it.
we have a lot of arts going on.
Yes,
And